Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a Riley Sager ranking video for you. I did a poll on Instagram and I asked if you want to see Riley Sager or Ruth Ware, or none or both of their rankings, and I did get a couple of replies that people wanted to see both. So first I am going to start with Riley Sager. This is my first kind of like ranking video. A lot of people have done them by now. I'm not sure who started doing the videos, but Riley Sager is a pretty popular author that I have seen rankings for, and I thought that I would start there. And then I also would like to do a ranking of Alice Feeney because just now, as of today, I have finished all of her books, so definitely look out for that one as well. First, I will tell you the books in order of publication and tell you their like synopsis, what they're about. And then I will tell you the way that I rank them, starting with the least favorite up to my top favorite. So Riley Sager's first book is Final Girls, and this was written in 2017. I just read it last year, I think. I mostly read all of his books last year, except obviously the one that came out this year. And I read this one so fast, and like within 2 days I could not get enough of it. And it is about a group of final girls, and there's 3 of them. It says first there were 3, then there were 2. Can there only ever be one final girl? And the one woman ends up, the cops say suicide, some people say suicide, some people say murdered. Obviously the final girls know the other final girls know that girl was murdered, and they kind of like meet up and work together a little bit, and things happen from there. So that is the synopsis of Final Girls. I don't want to give too much away, but like I said, this was his debut, very first. And then next I have The Last Time I Lied, and this is still really popular in like the summer because it is about a girl that she was a counselor, or no, she was in summer camp, and then some of her cabin mates, they went missing, and she kind of got blamed for it a little bit. And you know, this place is very mysterious, this camp and everything, this summer camp. And then years and years later, she gets called back because the summer camp is opening back up, and they want her to be a kind of like counselor there, artist. She is an artist. They want her to teach like the art classes there. So that is what happens here. And obviously that camp shouldn't have opened back up in the first place, but you will see what happens as she comes back to be the art teacher. And then next is Lock Every Door, and I believe this was my very first Riley Sager. I read it on audio, and it is about Jules, and she needs a place to stay, and there is, I forget what it's called, Bartholomew. She goes to those apartments, and she gets a room there, but it comes with a lot of rules. You cannot have any visitors, no nights spent away from the apartment, no disturbing other residents, all of whom are rich or famous or both. So lots of rules in order to stay in the apartment buildings. And you're not supposed to interact with your neighbors, but obviously there is some interaction that does go on with her neighbors, and she finds out some secrets. And then there's some people missing. She tries to find like people missing, and a lot of things kind of go on in this apartment building. And that brings me to the next book, Home Before Dark. Both of these books have kind of, is it paranormal, is it something else kind of theme going on. So if you liked either of these, definitely check out the other one for sure. You'll see what I like more, which one I like more, I guess, whenever we get to that. And I just would like to say I love all the covers of his books, except Survive the Night didn't really go with the theme. I mean, I did a little bit, but yeah, really like the covers of all of his books, how they're kind of like themed. And then Home Before Dark, this came out last summer, and a lot of people haven't read it, or they read it last October, or they're reading it this spooky season. And it is about Maggie and her family lived in this house for, I think it was like a month, maybe a month, and then some paranormal things were happening and they got out. She was a kid, so she doesn't know, like, did those things really happen, or was I imagining those things? Like, you know, she was a kid, so she's not really sure now. And her dad wrote this book about all the experiences that they had, and she does not believe any of it. And her dad passes away, and she thought that they actually sold this place, and then she finds out that her dad never sold this place. He goes back there one night a year, and he has people that takes care of this house. And basically, you know, he lied to her and he still had this house. So she has to get rid of it. So she moves back in to do some kind of like renovations of it, and some things go on from there. You get to see whether this book that he wrote was real or not. And it does have a book within a book, which I really enjoyed that part a lot. Here is kind of the book within a book aspect. That was really, really nice. And it does take place during the summer, so you can really read this during the summer when it came out, or obviously during like the fall spooky season as well. And then finally, his most recent book that came out was Survive the Night. And this is about Charlie and her roommate slash friend recently got murdered by the campus killer, and she is not doing very well mental health wise, needs a break, and she's like, okay, I'm going to drop out of college. I'm kind of done with this. It's like the middle of the year. I don't think it's like Thanksgiving or anything. I don't think it's a break. I think it's maybe like beginning of November or something like that. Might have a date here, but it's definitely not whenever like there's a school break. So she has to wait for the weekend for her boyfriend to bring her home, and she doesn't want to wait for anyone to bring her home, so she goes and requests a ride home on the ride share board. It takes place in the 90s, and that was more of a trusting time, obviously, I guess. So she has Josh take her home, and on the way there, this takes place mainly all in the car, and on the way there, she realizes, I know nothing about this man. Why am I letting him bring me home? And is he this campus killer that everybody is talking about? And this also takes place like a screenplay kind of, the chapters, because she is a film student. So there is that aspect in this book as well. And I think that's all that I have to say about all of these books. And now I will give you I thought I had the rankings figured out, but now I don't know. But I'm just going to give you my right now thoughts on my rankings. So, down at the bottom, by Riley Sager. Duh, this is Riley Sager ranking. Down at the bottom, Survive the Night. And I don't like where everything takes place in the car. And Charlie is a very unreliable narrator for sure. You see the twists kind of coming, kind of like, I don't know, in the middle. It's fun to read, it's fine, but just not my favorite. So that is why it's going at the bottom. And in fourth place, I have The Last Time I Lied. I know this is a lot of people's favorites. I read it last year, and I read it on audio, so that might affect it, but I just did not love this. I don't know why. I can't tell you like specific reasons because it's been a while, but I just remember just not loving it, thinking like, okay, once it was over, like, okay, that is it. Maybe I don't like the summer camp. I don't know, but just not my favorite one. So that is still going above Survive the Night. So still, I mean, I would recommend reading all of these if you are interested in it. Except maybe not even Survive the Night, because unless you really like books taking place all in the same like room, whatever area, and it takes place over one day. And then these two are the ones that I'm really conflicted on, but I'm gonna say Home Before Dark will be in third place. I enjoyed reading it and everything, but this just took me like a really long time to like it, I guess. I don't know. It's good. I recommend it, but not at my top favorite. I really love the book within a book aspect. I love that she didn't know, like, I love that she thought that her dad was just writing BS. And I love that she found out, holy crap, my dad still kept this house up and lied to us. But it still wasn't my favorite. I just remember reading this and being like, is this book over yet? Like, why isn't this book over yet? Like, I don't know why. I enjoyed it, but it just took a long time for me. And I might have been in a reading slump when reading it. I mean, I don't think that I was, but I just remember reading this and feeling like, is this book done yet? That's why that's going to my third place. Second place is Lock Every Door. Like I said, this is my first Riley Sager, so maybe that's why it affects me liking it so much, but I really did like this one. I read this one on audio too, and I was just so into this book. I was just like imagining the characters, what would happen if I was in the situation, and I was just really into this book. So that is why this is going in my second place. And then, if you don't know by now, first place is Final Girls, and I don't know what it is about this book, but I just really like this book. I finished it, like I said, very quickly, and I just really enjoyed it. So that is kind of my order, and my order is a little bit different than a lot of people I've noticed, because a lot of people like Final Girls and The Last Time I Lied the most, and then they didn't really like these two books, or a lot of people like these two, don't like his older books, and then I've seen very mixed reviews about this one. But for the most part, I've seen average, not really liking, and a couple people liking it. So that's just what I've seen myself or noticed. But yeah, that is my ranking. So let me put this back in order so I can just show you one more time. And thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have read all of the Riley Sager books. If you haven't, definitely recommend you reading all of them and, formulating your own opinions. But this is my final ranking. of Riley Sager. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Definitely like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. More ranking videos to come, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night.